welcome to America Makes Game Day here at Rapid plus TCT 2023, right here in Chicago. My name is Josh Cramer. I'm the Director of Education and Workforce Development here at America Makes. I have the pleasure of having Mr. Frank Medina with us here from the University of Texas, El Paso, a tremendous partner of the Institute of the Industry for so many years, the Satellite Center of America Makes. Good morning, Frank. Welcome, and thanks for joining me. Frank, for those folks that maybe don't know you, you mind introducing yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, all that kind of great stuff.
Yeah, of course. So I'm currently a professor at the University of Texas El Paso and one of the directors of the WM Keck Center for 3D Innovation. Right. I've been working, at UTEP I started working under Dr. Wicker, which is the main director and the founder of the Keck Center in 1997. So when I was an undergrad, right? So there I did my undergrad, my master's, and my PhD at UTEP. I graduated in materials science. And from there, I left for a couple of years, right? We started doing additives since 2000. So it's been a long journey with additive manufacturing. But I left for a couple of years just to explore, to see what was beyond education, academia. And after that, I went to work, in 2013, I went to work for Arcam, right, the Swedish company, now a GE additive. Great. I was stationed at Oak Ridge National Labs for about 2.5 years. And then from there, I went to EWI in Buffalo. I was their technology leader for additive manufacturing and also the director for the Additive Manufacturing Consortium.
Fantastic.
From there, we went back to El Paso. It got too cold for us, right? So became a professor and then started doing additive research at the university, really focusing on metals additive manufacturing.
That's fantastic. I mean, what an awesome journey, right? I mean, we talk a little bit about in some of our talks, obviously, me as the leader of educational workforce, talk about AM Jobs, a new platform that we're building to highlight the people of the industry and kind of their paths, right?
Correct.
And I think this is a really cool one to see you take that journey and then come back to UTEP. As well. Can you tell us a little bit about the Keck Center specifically? Obviously, a huge center down there in El Paso, doing terrific work, not only for that region of Texas, but the nation as well.
Oh, correct. So on the Keck Center, it started back in 2001. We got the first grant from the WM Keck Foundation, right? And then from there, we've pretty much been expanding pretty much nonstop. We do a lot of research in polymers, metals, sensors, pretty much you name it, really focusing in additive manufacturing and trying to really expand it, to the next level and go into production. Currently, we have over 100 students, wow. Right? So if you need any students for for additive, especially in the workforce, we really put them out there. We also have a lot of different technologies. You can pretty much name all 7 categories. And we have them there, and we're doing research on it. So it's a pretty unique place.
Yeah, and I would say that's one of the unique aspects, right? I mean, you have this place where you're marrying, this marriage of academia and workforce training and outreach, right there with the R&D, tip of the spear. Some of the most, innovative practices, technologies, materials, whatever it may be, in a truly beautiful center with amazing people down there in El Paso. And you do quite a bit of outreach in the region as well, right?
Correct.
With
yes.
that part of Texas.
Yeah. So early on, we really noticed that additive manufacturing is one of the big keys to bring students into education, right? To STEM. So we saw that early on, and we've been really pushing the envelope on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's critical, right? I mean, it's critical to understand that there's pathways and there's pipelines, and we always kind of call that the talent stream, because, folks can stand at any edge of the bank of the stream, to really dip their toe in the water there and those kind of things. I mean, we're fortunate here at America Makes and NCDMM to partner with you on a number of activities. One of a big one that we've been working on the last couple of years together and supporting with you all is a program called Drive AM. Which has been a tremendously rich program around a lot of technologies in the workforce training, workforce development, education space. Can you tell us a little bit about Drive AM?
Yes. So what's really nice about Drive AM, it was really designed to be able to teach additive manufacturing to the Department of Defense, right? And currently, I think we have over 1,300 different members from the Department of Defense that have taken some of our courses and learned about additive manufacturing. So we've been expanding that ever since, right? Focusing on different technologies like material extrusion, laser powder bed fusion, really the fundamentals, and going not just the fundamentals, but really the understanding of how the technology works and how it can be applied into production or the need for the Department of Defense.
Yeah, I mean, and what we've come accustomed to from UTEP is extremely high quality, right? We know that, you know that. I had the pleasure of sitting with Dr. Wicker on a panel at Mill AM earlier this year, and just some of the accolades, obviously. And again, we kind of know this, right, is why we celebrate and support you all in the work down there, but just how the quality of that coursework and the relevance of it ingrained into the work of the DoD and really the need there, right? I mean, that's a big drive for us in the Institute, is making sure, anchored in our mission is the voice of industry defense, making sure that we're listening to your customer, we're listening to what they need and what they want and what they need out of these things. So I applaud that effort for sure.
Yeah, and something that I want to emphasize on, on this, on Drive AM, it's not just virtual, right? It's really a hands-on course too. You can get into that to really understand the needs, of the customers.
Yeah, and I think that hands-on component's what folks really, they want to know, right? When we talk workforce development, we talk about not only having the knowledge, but like, the show me, show me you can do it. They're looking for folks that are tactical within maybe not day one, but those first, couple weeks, of getting on site and those kind of things. We had a chance to meet Jesus yesterday, who now is working in Impossible Objects here in Chicago. We came out of a workforce program and those kind of things, been there 6 months, very hands-on, contributing to the organization and those kind of things as well. So tremendous work coming out of the Drive AM group. I mean, and you all at UTEP and the Keck Center, I mean, it doesn't stop there. Obviously, you're taking that training all across the U.S. in a couple different environments. Correct. As well. A couple hubs. I know Youngstown's one of those. Huntsville, Alabama's another. But you've probably trained folks from all over the U.S.
Pretty much. A lot of military bases. We were able to take different machines into and do hands-on training there. We've even done Kuwait.
Yeah.
So you can really see, a lot of this. Knowledge is really needed pretty much all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a tremendous asset, right? Making sure that where folks need it. One of our kind of phrases is meeting learners where they learn how they learn, right? And I think you're exemplary in that. Correct. In that sense, and I think that's terrific. One of the kind of more fun parts of my role is getting to brainstorm and come up with some fun stuff. You have some cool stuff on the horizon. I know we've been talking about and then sharing, and we're looking forward to supporting. And that's with the I'll call it a summer institute, but it might not be. Correct. A summer institute. But could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we're trying to develop a new project, right? As you guys know, we've been doing a lot of development from K to 12th grade, but what really want to focus on and really get going is to get like juniors and seniors from high school to really take the plunge into additive manufacturing, right? More hands-on, and from there, once they do that, really not just go into engineering, right, but stay at UTEP. So what I'm really trying to focus on here is get the top 10% in high school students, right? To really motivate them and see that they don't, they'll be successful if they stay at UTEP, not just go to MIT or go to Stanford or something, but really try and keep them there, especially when they see the capabilities of the WM Keck Center, what we have to offer to them, the hands-on, the knowledge, the technology, all the futuristic stuff that they can really learn and be productive, and once they finish there, they can really go out, into industry. And a lot of our kids have been very successful. Like I said, right now we have over 100 kids. They're really high sought after, from just not, well, you can see here from companies all over, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, you name it.
And what an amazing mentor, right? Like your story, listening to your story, obviously rooted in UTEP, rooted in El Paso, and then kind of spreading your wings, going out there and then circling back.
Correct,
right?
exactly.
And so I think what an amazing mentor for these students to have, you leading that effort there. Can you give us a little glimpse into what some of the hands-on activities might be with that group?
So yeah, so something that we've been trying, right? We have different projects that we're working on. We really want to blow their minds, well, not technically, right? But we're really trying to look at different design challenges that they can do, from propulsion, optimization, right? To be able to design and even propel their own rocket, to be able to create their own propellant, their own design and propellant. These are solid state rockets that we're really trying to put together, right? And they can not just understand how to design them, but why they're designing that way, right? To really understand the propulsion, the thrust, what they can achieve with their designs. So looking at new materials, light weighting, it's endless what they can really. If we really focus on something and guide them correctly, they'll be able to do really great things. And of course, a competition.
Yeah, that never hurts. I mean, even my years back in the classroom, what felt like a life ago, many of those summer, weeks were spent in competition, right? It's just a fun place to be. And truly, I'm hoping, next year, the year after at Rapid, we get a chance to meet some of these students, hear some of these things, because I have a suspicion that we may be seeing some innovators that will become showcases here at Rapid, in the future as well. So, Frank, I truly appreciate you spending some time with us today here at Rapid. Tremendous friend, great asset, not only to America Makes, but the industry at large. Thanks to you and the entire team and Dr. Wicker and staff down there at UTEP and the Keck Center for all you do, and we certainly appreciate everything you do as well.
And thank you for the opportunity, to represent.
Absolutely, thanks.
UTEP here.